These two have been in fierce competition. I'll throw in the V3 Mini also later, but let's talk about shapes first. Both of them are a medium-sized ergo. I would say the Thorn feels a little bit bigger. It feels a little bit wider, but I also think it's better balanced, and I think a better shape too. The Xlite V3, this is the size 2 medium ES. So the non-ES, this is 66 grams on my scale. The non-ES is supposedly 55 grams. Difference being the OLED display and a larger battery and the aluminum scroll wheel. The grooves on the sides aren't super aggressive. In fact, they're rather flat on the Pulsar, especially compared to something really contoured like a Zowie EC3. There's a little bit of a ledge, ring finger ledge here, but not a major one. The mouse seems to want you to place your ring finger about here, which I would like it if it was a little bit farther forward. I'm able to do that on the EC3. The thumb groove, if you do low thumb angle, it feels just really flat. If you do aggressive thumb angle, it's alright, but I think the buttons become a little bit too far back, and you're going to have to adjust your grip to go up and touch them. Finger grooves in the buttons are really nice. They're long and decently deep. They remind me of the Xtrfy MZ1 Zeiss rail. Not so much in depth, but in length they certainly are. So if you do a relaxed grip, that's pretty desirable. The scroll wheel is rather high up. It's kind of big. I think they use the same size on the Mini, which is just comical. It makes it look like a big old nose on the mouse. You can click it decently high up on the mouse and still have good click feel, but they do get pretty stiff pretty quickly. These are opticals. The implementation is very good. This does have a little bit more post travel than the Thorn, and you cannot click up as high, but these are still very good switches. Very good implementation. The coating is on the black one. Just feels like a standard plastic, a lot like a GPX, maybe not quite as smooth. It's a little bit different on my Mini. I don't know if it's because it's the Mini or because it's the white or maybe non-ES. It has a very slight rubberized texture. Not as aggressive rubbery as an endgame gear, but it definitely is different than the black. The two scroll wheels between these two, by the way, they feel pretty much the same, although the aluminum one has some weight for some inertia there. Now talking about the Thorn, it's a much more bulbous feeling. The humps are one thing that's a bit different. The Fnatic Thorn, it's a high central hump, but it stays high a little bit farther back before dropping down, whereas this is a little bit more of a peak, so it doesn't stay as center, it doesn't as high for as long. It tapers off a little bit more quickly. As a person who aggressive claws, I thought that would be annoying because then it's going to like make me end up palming it because it just fills the palm too much. It's not really an issue. I'm still able to, it seems a little bit shorter. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter than the Xlite. So, the sides, there's quite a scallop here for the thumb. It's not as aggressive as you think though, because there isn't really any other contouring or bulges within this plastic. It's all just following the same curve here. So whether you do low thumb angle or high thumb angle, it's really comfortable. The side buttons I think are slightly better. Going to give that to the Pulsar. I'm sorry, to the Thorn, mainly because they stick out farther, so they're easier to hit. The Pulsars are still very good too. Maybe a little bit more hollow feeling. Yeah, the Lamzus are nice though. Main buttons are quite loud. I don't know. I like the sound of the Pulsar more, but the Lamzu I think I would perform better with. They are a little bit more crisp, less pre and post travel, but both of them are really solid. I'm nitpicking at this point. These are two different flavors of achieving the same thing. Scroll wheel is objectively better than the Pulsar in my opinion though. The detents are more noticeable, but they're still nicely rounded where it's not an obnoxiously loud wheel. Middle mouse is very spammable and light. The Pulsar is also very spammable, but on the borderline of being too. If you do aggressive scrolls, you're going to actuate it. The Thorn, I don't have that issue. No real finger grooves in the buttons, which is kind of a bummer. But I don't know, maybe that makes it a safer shape in some regards if you keep your fingers wide apart or maybe really close together. Click feel as you go higher up is definitely better on the Thorn than on the, like if I'm clicking. Yeah, definitely better on the Thorn. I'll give that one to the Thorn. The right side of the mouse, nice finger ledge if you're sort of at the like A or T in Fnatic and forward. Definitely a bit of a finger ledge there. Further back, it just feels pretty flat. There is a little bit of a bulge out here, but that's so far back that, I mean, if you wanted to grip far back, you could. That's more pinky territory there, though. Skates are definitely better on the Lamzu. They're thicker, a little bit more rounding, though the Pulsars are good. I think they're both good. The Lamzu, they are a little bit faster and a little bit quieter. I absolutely love these Lamzu skates. The spare ones that came in the box, I'm probably going to put on another mouse. And let's see, coating is also nothing special. There's no coating. It's again a smooth plastic. It feels a lot like the black one here actually. Maybe a hair smoother, maybe. Yeah, I would say a hair smoother. And weight, yeah, 52 grams versus 66 grams. I mean, if you were to get the non-ES, that's 55 grams versus 52. But yeah, I would guess I'd give it to the Fnatic Thorn there. Anything else? I think that pretty much covers it. So yeah, the Pulsar feels more narrow, but the Fnatic is better in, I think, pretty much every other way, and the shape still isn't bad. It's just a little bit more bulbous. So anyway, I hope that helps.